Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my office. We've had a rainy start to the day. The last day and a half we've had quite a bit of rain, so it's a little bit dark outside, but it is Sunday morning and it's time for me to take a look at my planner and think about the new week. And today I wanted to share a little bit more in depth about how I have my planner organized, and we'll talk more about that in just a second. So stay tuned for that and welcome to my office. So this is my current planner. I have the Jane's Agenda Hunter Green wraparound cover on the outside, and I am still loving this. It just helps me to feel like everything is held a little more securely within my planner because I do take it on the go. And then I also like having just some extra space for things. So having these extra pockets, you can see I've added some of my Jane's Agenda page flags and little sticky notes. I like having the 2 pen loops so that I can keep all my pens handy. And when I'm at the office, sometimes I do just take the whole planner out so that I can flip over to the day that I'm working on and kind of have my planner more compactly placed on my desk versus the big wraparound cover. But then it's easy just to slide it back in and take it on the go. So a little bit of backstory. I have several part-time jobs. One of my part-time jobs is that I work for a small business accountant. And besides the daily and weekly business accounting we do for several clients throughout the year, she is also a tax accountant. So this time of year, it's extra busy for her. I just do a lot of the supporting roles and administration stuff at the office, but it still gets busy on my plate too because there's just extra work to be done. So having said that, we have basically wrapped up tax season, at least for me and the tasks that I do. She is still probably hard at work this weekend because the tax deadline is just a couple days away, but there's nothing more that I can do. So for me, it feels like we've kind of wrapped up tax season. So now that my brain can kind of think again about other areas of my life, I've spent the last several days cleaning up my office here at home. I had a lot of filing and just things that had piled up. And the other thing I've been thinking about is how I want to sort of refresh my planner and just make sure that it's working the best that it can for me as we go into the second half of April. So a couple of things that I've updated, and I just wanted to share this with you. I have been using the black divider tabs that came in the Jane's Agenda subscription box, and I am a Jane's Agenda affiliate, so I'll have my special affiliate link in the description box of this video. So if you're curious or you want to shop a little bit on the Jane's Agenda website, if you use my link, then it just tells them that you found Jane's Agenda through me. If you make a purchase, you can use my special code for your very first purchase on the website and get a little bit of a discount. And otherwise, if you use my code just anytime you're shopping, then it helps by letting them know that you found Jane's Agenda through me, and I get a little bit of an affiliate bonus with that. So anyway, these black dividers, we got a set of 12. They were just numbered 1 through 12 in one of the subscription boxes. I think it was the December or January subscription box. So I've been enjoying having that as my monthly dividers, but I noticed the month that I was using, so far I've used it for January through, part of April. By the end of the month, the gold numbering has kind of worn off. So I'll show you here, this is the divider for the 3rd tab, and you can see that the lettering is starting to wear off a little bit. So I wanted to relabel the tabs for the next 3 months, or April and the next 2 months. So I got out my label maker. I have a Brother label maker. I'll link it down below. And went ahead and made the April, May, June, and just stuck them over the number that was on there. And then the other thing I've been using are the clear glass dividers, and I like these, but the sticker that came with the system, so this was, I think, the March subscription box. So the sticker was also clear, and then it just had the text in black. And I noticed, for me at least, it was really hard to see those. So I wanted to relabel these tabs as well. So I've just sort of reorganized the layout and then made these labels with my label maker. So we'll talk again, back up a little bit and talk about the cover and the planner itself. So I have my cover on here. This is actually from the March subscription box. I just decided I like this better in the green cover. So I'm not using the April cover yet. I could always change my mind or just save it for another month. And the very front of my planner is where I have just some basic things. So I have this little cheat sheet that kind of tells me some of my different areas of my life and how I have them divided out into tabs in my planner. Now this needs to be updated a little bit because now that I have this new planner tab system, some of these are kind of off, but it gives me some just general ideas of like the things I'm keeping tabs on and where they fall into my life. Then I have this pocket from Jane's Agenda, and I just like to keep, like, this is my weekly home blessing from the Fly Lady, just as a reminder. Sometimes I'll just stick pieces of paper from my daughter's school or things like that. Anything I don't want to lose, then it goes in this pocket. And then we go into some calendar. This is basic overview calendar pages. So I can't show you all of these pages. Let's see. I can show you here. So this is just a dashboard from Jane's Agenda that has the time zones on it, which is helpful. From time to time, I'll sign up for some sort of like a free workshop and they're in a different time zone or they've listed it in a different time zone. So I just want to make sure I know where I'm falling on the time zones. Then I have some things like my planning routines here, just again as kind of a reminder, and some affirmations that I liked and I just wanted to stick in there. And then this goes into more like specific planning. So behind this tab, I have like family birthdays, special events coming up, so I can just keep jotting them on this list, and it has the months on the side, so it goes on the left and the right. So after these couple of overview calendar pages, then I go into the specific months. So basically this first whole section of my calendar is my schedule. And I don't feel like I need a tab that says schedule, but I know that I'm looking in any of these beginning sections to see what I'm doing either every month, every week, every day, whatever the case may be. So you've seen my weekly layouts that I'm using. This is the current week, and I have been a little bit more in my planner this week. I finally got out my monthly habit tracker because I was kind of missing having a habit tracker of some sort. Before I was using the daily executive insert from Jane's Agenda, and I did like that it had a weekly overview page with some habit trackers on it. I don't necessarily want to go back to those daily pages yet, but I did feel like I needed to add back in that habit tracker. It was just helpful for me to have that. So I've got that in there. I haven't been great about all my habits so far in April, but that's okay. We're, you know, tomorrow's a new day. We can always start again. So I've got my weekly and monthly plans here. You can see I've shared a lot of this already, and you can go back and watch like my setup videos. So I've got my getting things done sections here with my next actions and my brain dump, my active projects, my goals, which I did earn green by 15 yesterday. So that's good. That is a fun little incentive that Jordan Essentials has for the consultants every month. So I got that, which means I've earned the next month's Joyful Jordan box for free, and I'm sure tomorrow when the business office is open again, then I'll get my special code and I can order it and get it early, so that'll be fun. Then I have my waiting on, my someday, my errands, and my contacts. So this is just all of my getting things done lists that I can reference back to. Then I have my monthly calendar, which you guys have seen things like this already. And then as I was showing you, my weekly stuff. So that's my calendar section. Then we go into the other parts of my life and the things I'm keeping there. So what I've decided to do is the side tabs are the main overview of the section. And then either on the top or the bottom, I have some subcategories divided out. Now, at some point, I think I would like to upgrade a little bit and get the clear or the frosted plastic top divider tabs. I think I've found some on Amazon. I know there's lots of shops that have them, so I haven't really pinned down where I'm going to get that from, but at some point, I think I'd like to do that. For now, I'm just using sticky notes that are the sticky tabs, so it's like a little heavier plastic, and a lot of times will use my label maker to label them. So the first section I have is personal. So this is things like my personal year information from the Louise Hay Colors and Numbers book. It has my quarterly plans, my goals, my vision board, all those kinds of things. And again, I have some of the top tabs set up where it's just different sections, and it helps me find things when I'm looking for them there. Then the next section I have is my projects. And so I've done a couple of these half page inserts to have my possible projects and my current projects. So these are actually two separate pages just laying on top of each other. And then behind that is different projects I have going on. At some point, I may do like a little index sheet that tells me, you know, what all the project pages are behind that. But at this point, it's just a handful of projects that I'm trying to keep track of, so I don't feel like I need that. Then we go into the home section. So this is where I have things like our school calendar, any homework pages or homework tips I have to work with my daughter on homework, our family budget, and any other like home projects or home things that I want to keep track of are in there. Then I have a business tab. So this includes, like I mentioned, all these part-time jobs that I have and some of my volunteer responsibilities. So on here, I have bottom tabs. I have my Jordan Essentials tab. So that's trainings, trackers, anything I'm using, schedules and calendars to keep track of not only my own personal business, but I am a director, so I have a team underneath of me. So it just helps me keep track of all those things. My own customer service and customer care trackers are in there as well. Then I have some of my other jobs and volunteer opportunities that are listed under their own tab. This is another way that I've kind of subdivided things. So this tab, which this sticky tab is pretty much worn out, I need to get a new one, but this AHF tab is one of my part-time jobs. And within that, I felt like I needed to separate out the pages I'm holding in the planner. So I made some tabs that have events, calendar, hours, like keeping track of my hours that I work, marketing, and meeting notes. So that helps me subdivide even further. Then the next tab is reference. So this is any little just random notes that I'm taking or collections that I have. If you're familiar with the term collections from the bullet journaling system, it's just lists and things that I'm wanting to hold on to, but they don't really fall into any other category. So for instance, I'm kind of working on this time study just to get a better idea of how long my usual routines take me so that I can be more efficient in my planning. So I'm working on doing that. So I just have things like that. I have my Louise Hay colors and numbers at a glance page that tells me my routines. I have, you know, my books to read list and my wish list and just shows and movies to watch. Some of these I haven't really filled out, but this is where collections would go for things like that. I have an order tracker here, which I kind of forgot I had that. I might need to move that into my Jordan Essentials tab because that's probably where I'd be most likely to use that, but good to know and remind myself. This is just a size guide from Jane's Agenda. So it just goes on with different kind of reference items like that. And then the very last section I have is just a section for blank pages. And I do like to keep a variety of blank pages in my planner to be able to pull out for different reasons. So I went ahead and used some of those Jane's Agenda page flags, and I've just labeled like the first of each one. So I have some dot grid, I have some of these quad list pages, and the back of this dot grid is one that I just sort of made. It was a tablet that came in a cloth and paper subscription. So I don't know if this is even still available, but I just cut the page down to fit in here and then punched it. And basically it's just a dot grid notes page I can use. Anyway, then I have these quad list pages. So these work really well for the getting things done lists if you want to break those out. I have some of these side by side like dual list pages. I think these are also from Jane's Agenda. They may be discontinued, I'm not sure. I just picked up these meeting notes and I really like these because now I am having meetings quite a bit more with some of the jobs I have, and it's been really helpful to just pull out a meeting notes page and take all my notes on that. So I have some of those in there, and I think that's it through the back. So those are all the tabs that I currently am using in my planner. And again, this could change at any point, which is why I like having the Discbound system, is that I can update this at any point that I decide things aren't quite working. And the only other thing I'll mention that is working in my planner for me right now is to have this little notebook. This also came in the April subscription box, but I'm dedicating this to just the one part-time job, which I often have like phone calls or emails that come up throughout any given day, because that's a job that I don't have specific set hours. It's just kind of ongoing that things are trying to get done. So I'm just keeping any notes for that in this notebook. So that's been helpful too, that I just know if I'm looking for something that I can't remember what we talked about, it's usually in here. Or if I'm just jotting down some ideas, then I can go to here first. Then I may reorganize it and put it like under one of the specific tabs, but this is just my scribble notebook where nothing looks pretty. It's just there for the function. So that is how my current planner is organized. Maybe that gave you some ideas on how to organize your planner, or it was just fun to see how mine is set up. I hope you are enjoying the month of April and getting ready to head into the second half of the month. I know I feel like once I reach the 15th, and especially when I earn that green by 15 goal, that it's just a little bit of a reset now to think about the next 2 weeks of April and what things are on my plate. And especially, like I mentioned, now that tax season is basically over and I feel like I can sort of have the space in my brain for some other things, then it's nice to get my planner reset as well. So thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button down below if you enjoy these kinds of videos. I'll be back on Tuesday for another Tiny Tidy Tuesday video, and you can see how I'm doing on my basement declutter project. I'm just doing one box every Tuesday. And then Friday, I'll be back for a beautifully organized in 52 weeks video. And if you saw this last Friday's video, you know that I am still working on my living room decluttering. So I'll be sharing some fun clips as we've been working on decluttering things already so far this week. So thanks again. Have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye.